Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Welcome back to 2022 and welcome back to the Big Al podcast. It's your host Big Al. Thank you. Thank you. We back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. 2022. I was going to say season 2, but I don't know. I don't know when we're going to do that yet. I keep I said it in the I don't know which episode I said it in, but I said it if I'm gonna do season 2, something's gotta change. It's gotta be like a new environment, like a real studio session. So that's when I think it's gonna change to season 2. So for now, episode 28, I believe. I've come unprepared on what episode I'm on. Let me see. Yeah, episode 28 is 2022. First off, shout out to my mother for this creative director hoodie. Late Christmas gift present. Dope hoodie. Thank you, mom. Um I'm feeling good. It first week has passed of January. I gave it a week. So did another podcast channel I follow. They gave it a week too. They dropped their episode today. I'm like, y'all dropped yours today. I'll drop mine tomorrow. How about that? I don't know. But welcome back to episode 28, the Big Al podcast. It's your host, Big Al. Let's get straight to it. So the last time I saw you all was in December before Christmas. So I should give my Christmas recap first. So, but before that, your boy got some new stuff on. I got a new Apple Watch. Well, not a new Apple Watch. I just got an Apple Watch. And y'all ever have something that like you just get something, you be like, how could I have gone this long without having this? That's how I feel about this watch. I've only had this watch since Friday. Well, that's not true. This specific one, this is the space gray one. I got this yesterday. I swapped it out because I got the silver before, and then I was like looking through, just like I don't know, curious, just looking through the Apple store again. I was like, oh yeah, they do have space gray. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get that. So I went to the Apple store, switched that real quick. Now we in space gray. I got my little case on it. Your boy got the hold on, let me see. Your boy got the SE 40 millimeter. Your boy's wrists are small. And yeah, it's helping me out a lot for real, for real. I didn't think because before I always was like, well, what do I need this for? Why do I need a mini phone on my wrist for? What do I need this for? And this kind of helped me a lot during out the day, you know. Um, I know yesterday because I didn't work yesterday, and I was sitting down a lot, could telling me like, go stand up, go do something. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should go stand up after a while because I was playing the game for a while, like 3 hours, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should go stand up. But anyways, the Christmas recap. Christmas. I had a good Christmas. I got well, it started off good, but then the power went off. And the power went off for a couple hours. And apparently, according to the Ring, on Ring, there's like a community tab. And on the community tab, they were saying someone hit the power line or something, or the power tower. I don't know. Someone hit something, and our power from the whole street, like down the whole major street, was just out for a couple hours until they came out and fixed it. But for that time, I was kind of like, I was kind of like, dang, ain't no power. But I was kind of like, this kind of cool because this kind of put me in like a headspace of like, if I was to time travel and got stuck somewhere, how would I function right? So I was like, I put my phone down for a while. I kind of was just chilling. I was like, this ain't that bad, low key. I mean, it'd be cool if like the TV worked, but like no internet, nothing. That was kind of like a nice like little break, if you will, just to be like, how would I survive in the '80s? You know, because I grew up with technology. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what if there was a time that wasn't as accessible to you, that you don't have the entire internet in your pocket, all this research, anything you want at your fingertips at any time. What if that wasn't there? That's crazy for me to think about because I was grown up into it. Like I vaguely remember when the iPhone first came out, but at that time it wasn't as accessible, because it just came out. And I didn't understand because I was like 8 or 9, so I didn't really understand like what the major like touch screen and everything. It kind of, since I was young, it was just like, oh, okay, this is a new thing to learn. Not for someone who's older and they've only known buttons on their phone. To now it's like, oh, there's no buttons. Like when you first watched that, because I watched the keynote a long time ago of the Steve Jobs when he first introduced the iPhone, and trying to walk people into this, that must have been so hard and frustrating because people are just frustrating and ignorant and they don't want to learn anything. But yeah, most of that day the power was out for a good like 3 hours or so. Then it didn't. Then it came back on. You know, went to playing the game and all that stuff. Um, New Year's was cool. I worked on New Year's, but I came home early because the store closed early. I don't get why any store will be open past 6 o'clock. Like our store closed at like 8, but most of the other ones like Walmart and the rest of them, they closed at like 6. I'm like, why don't we close at 6? But it's whatever. So I got to be home for the New Year's. But I guess not everybody stayed home for New Year's because everybody and their mama got COVID within the past 2 weeks or so. Because that's all you see on the internet. People caught COVID. So I guess just spreading through people when they went to their parties. You go around other people at work, because I see it all over TikTok and Facebook and everything. People keep getting sick. I've seen it. It's a real epidemic. And people just don't want to sit down like for nothing. Like this is 2022. It's 2 years, even in the pandemic, for 2 years. I wonder how it was like back in the like the 1920s, like when the Spanish flu. I don't think it was not 1920. The bubonic plague, like stuff like that. Like how did they handle that? Were they ignorant like us right now? Not the bubonic plague. What am I thinking of? Like polio. Like how did they handle like polio and AIDS? How did they handle that stuff? Were they just ignorant as they are right now? I feel like they shouldn't have been because they don't have that much access to information like we do. So, and not just information, like false information, false not advertising, but false news, fake news. So, people putting up whatever they want, and of course, people believe in that. So then they're gonna think, no, I don't need to do that. I gotta do this and do this. Like, was it as hard as it is back then? I wonder, for like polio or AIDS and stuff, because all back then your information was only just from the TV, whatever the TV told you. But now it's like, oh no, I could go look this up and look this paragraph about this article about this, debunking this theory, but then there's an article here debunking that article, and it's like, what's really the truth anymore? I always wonder. That's why whenever I read articles about things, I gotta read at least 2 or 3 articles just to get your own point of view on something. Or if you're watching videos, don't always take it from the first source that you read. Always look into it a bit more. That's why it's like, especially like when I do like when I'm getting something like something anything piece of tech or anything, I don't look at just one video. I look at about like 6 or 7 of them. First, you go through the top rated, like the highly rated people, like Marquez Brownlee, because he's like the top tech reviewer on YouTube, like the face of tech reviews. So you go through them people first, then you go through like your everyday people, because some people, you know, to them, they use like the highest gear they can possibly get. So something that you want is kind of like mid tier or like beginning entry level or something like that. Of course, they're not gonna talk as highly on it as an everyday person would. That's why you should go watch everyday person reviews, because for the most part, you're doing the same thing that they are. I don't know. I got off track, but that's talking about New Year's and everyone getting COVID. But anyway, let's get back to the list, or let's start the list. So I got two of my things. So my New Year's resolution for this year is to be more consistent, and that can be a very broad statement because it could fall into an umbrella of anything. So first off, being more consistent with the podcast. I feel like last year, even though I did start last year in April, pretty good start just for me getting to know how I want my setup to be and how I want my or just starting off like just making videos and audio for a podcast. It helped me be like, okay, I know how I want to do it now. So this year I'm gonna be way more on top of it. We're doing weekly videos, weekly uploads and everything. And I do got the vlog channel. I you know I just feel like I'm not much of a vlogger. I don't really go out and do stuff for real. Or if I do, I'm just like, oh, I didn't really bring the camera, because it's kind of a drag when you got to keep bringing this big camera. Like, this lens is it's not light. It's heavy, especially when you got to hold it up. And you got your tripod, like your little mini tripod and everything, trying to hold it up, trying to get everything. It's hard, man. So if I do be vlogging, I'll try to do it with my phone. That's why I did for most of Miami, because I just didn't feel like carrying my bag around all the time. So I would use my phone. And honestly, that worked out pretty well. I think so. A lot of those things, you put the right settings on and it looks pretty seamless. So I might just do like phone vlogging, if anything. But I'm not much of a vlogger. I don't really go out and do anything. And not even just I don't go out and do anything. You can't really go out and do everything because we got a worldwide pandemic. You're stuck in the house for real. You go to work, go home, go to work, go home, go to work, go home. That's a drag, man. And it's like other people, they that's their same schedule too. But the days that you're off, they gotta go to work, and the days you gotta go to work, they're off. So it's like you can't really go do nothing with nobody for real. So you kind of really just stuck at home. And you don't want to excuse me, add into like this high number that we already have of people getting COVID. You don't want to add to it, which is why I feel kind of bad, because I did go to a concert last year, so I kind of added into that. But I wanted to have fun. I wanted to go out. I haven't been to a concert since I was 17. I'm 21 now, and 2020 kind of made me like really realize, yo, you have to go out and do stuff. You have to like live your life for real, because you just never know what can happen. You don't know what can happen. Like, the whole world shut down for most of the year. Yeah, it slowly opened up. For the most part, it was still shut down. So for 2021, I feel like I did I did more things, or I did new things and tried to do more things. Like, I started a podcast, which it's funny. I got in my notebook. I think it was in my notebook I saw, or in here, that I wrote in December of 2019. I was like, I want to start a podcast. And then I forgot about that, and I just started the podcast like subconsciously, like in April. Then I looked back and I was like, oh wow, I said this before. I don't even remember saying that. So write down your goals, write down your dreams, and then when it happens, cross them out. That's one. So I did new things. I did the podcast. Um, I went on my first flight ever, and my first vacation ever, to Miami Beach. So I did that, crossed both those out. I went to a concert, not my first concert, but I did go to a concert. It was really cool. It's cool to see your favorite artist live, because sometimes you just be like, you don't think they real. It's just like they're on your phone. Then you're like, wow, that's him right there. Like, that's cool. So I did that. And what else did I do? I think that's it for real. I was supposed to make a list of it, but I didn't do that. So I'm just thinking off the dome. I went to Comic-Con again. I haven't done that since I was like 12 or 13. So it was cool to go do that again. And met Luke Cage. That was cool. The dude who played Luke Cage, that was cool. So I think I had a pretty good 2021. That's just me saying it. I tried new things, did more stuff. So this year I want to be more consistent on anything that I'm doing, the podcast, um, just anything I want to do. I want to stay consistent in it because the more consistent you are at something, the more it's gonna grow and the more you're gonna succeed and achieve. And like old girl said, if at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. I think I got an email. This is cool. I could be like separate from the computer. This is so cool. Like it's just this, but it's still this this 30-minute countdown thing. I gotta find a way to bypass this. I was reading an article about it, and the article was saying pretty much that these mirrorless and DSLR cameras, they only come with this 30-minute recording because of it's pretty much a money, pretty much. So if they sponsored this to go more than 30 minutes of recording, they would have to up the selling, how much they sell it for. And I guess that makes sense. I don't know, but I guess for consumer cameras, that's just how it is. But I'm still trying to look into it so I don't have to always worry and be like, okay, what time am I at? You know, because like this could record forever. Like the micro SD card I got, it could record for oh man, he barking. Yeah, he barking. You might have to edit that out, but it could record for 59 hours just because of how much storage I got. It's 128 gigabytes of storage for the SD card to go into here to record, you know, the voice and everything. So that's pretty cool. I could do that. I don't have to worry about this, or even like on the computer. I don't have to like worry about it. So it's just on here. The camera's the only thing I gotta worry about the recording limit on. But so it is what it is. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think you could get a external. I forgot what they called it. Something with the external that you don't have to worry about that because like Joe Rogan and like uh Maul and Rory and them, they can record for like 3 hours and it's just like seamless. Like it just keeps going. So I'm like, do they have like higher end studio cameras or like I know Joe Rogan probably does, but Mal and Rory, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. I like them way better than Joe Budden. Joe Budden did them dirty. We don't support Joe Budden no more. Um, but I don't know. I don't know the situation, but yeah, I just gotta find. I want to find a way to record longer without having to worry about that. That's just topic for the future. I also want to change my channel art or like the background for that, so I gotta play around with that too. But yeah, more consistent this year. Everything more consistent. So with that being said, let's get into these topics. First thing on the list, I think, is these Taco Bell chicken wings everyone keeps talking about. Taco Bell chicken wings. The taco place now sells chicken. Now that don't sound right, y'all. That don't sound right. The Taco Bell is selling chicken wings. The nacho fries, that's something cool because it's related to tacos. But chicken, this is a whole different game. What are these made out of? People talking about these made out of deer ankles. They're made out of squirrels. In the and we're in the time we're having a chicken wing shortage, or supposedly what they say, we're having a chicken wing shortage. So where are you getting this meat from? And there's some people, you know, they're doing little reviews on them. They don't look horrible. I would never eat them, but they don't look bad. But it's about the long term effects, you know. And then knowing Taco Bell, they don't keep their menu items, like new menu items, up for long. Like the nacho fries have been gone for like forever now, or like they have limited menu items, which I don't understand that their tactic on that, or how what their marketing plan is for that. But I guess it works because people still like Taco Bell. I don't get how they like that. That is the most just disgusting, just not good. Most unauthentic food you can ever eat ever. It's horrible. I don't get it. I last time I tried it was a couple months ago, and I just absolutely could not finish it. Had to throw it out. Had to. This was not good. I will only go to authentic Mexican restaurants for my tacos, burritos, and any Mexican food. I can't do it. Taco Bell chicken wings. And why chicken wings? Is that why? Because it's so out of the box? Because it's like, oh yeah, we don't sell this. Let's just put this on there. Kind of like McDonald's and like the McRib. What are you making that with? Where are you getting this from? It must be deer ankles. Or like when Burger King had 99 cents or like $1 for 10 chicken nuggets. What is this meat? What meat is this? You know what I'm saying? That you could sell 10 of them for $1. I used to work at Burger King a long time ago, like 5 years ago. That was my first job. You know, you're young, you don't think about nothing. You just eating everything. Like like they had the chicken fingers. Like it's just chicken that's fried in the finger form, or like French fry form. You ever be thinking about the food, like that type of food? That's why I think this year I'm just gonna try to completely cut that out. None of that. None of them fast food establishments. McDonald's. They've helped me down for years. I love their fries forever, but I think I'm gonna have to cut them off. Cut all of them off. I for sure been cut Burger King off. I can't do them no more. Taco Bell, I for sure been cut them off. I never really been to Arby's. Wendy's, I had to cut them off. I don't like Wendy's no more. I feel like ever since the pandemic had started, like the majority of fast food establishments, they have gone down in quality severely. Not just because the lack of employees, but I just feel like something got disrupted with the chain of how their food was. Don't get me wrong, the food was never like gourmet, but I'm just saying something has changed with their quality. Not even just fast food establishments. I mean like they're what would you call them? Like B level or like C level restaurants like Applebee's, and I used to work at Applebee's, Chili's, Red Robin's, places like them. I feel like something has gone different with the food quality. I think so. And that's coming from me who worked at a restaurant. And then that too, from working in a restaurant, kind of not always makes you, I mean, sometimes I forget because I'm not constantly there. I'm not there anymore. But it's still like, maybe I don't want to eat there because I know how we operate when when you're preparing the food. Not saying we're not doing it as safely as you can. Of course, always have your gloves on and everything, but it's still like knowing that how you did things. Like I try to do my best to do things as safely, as cleanly as possible, but knowing that some people aren't always like that on top of their stuff just makes you like, no, makes you kind of want to cut that out completely. I don't know. It's just me thinking out loud. But no, but like those restaurants, McDonald's and them, no, we gonna have to cut them out. 2022, we're gonna have to cut them out. That's just not the move. I can't do it no more. I'm telling you, I can't be the only one who's noticed that ever since the pandemic has started, like the quality has just gone down. Something, and like I said, it's not like the quality was gourmet or anything, but it's something has happened. I think so, and the fact that you're doing these new promotional items, the chicken wings. There was somebody else who was selling chicken something. I didn't write them down, but somebody else was doing it too. And I'm like, where are you getting all this meat from? If we're supposed to have a chicken wing shortage, you know what I'm saying? Where are you getting this from? Something ain't adding up. Maybe we'll look into that next episode too. Do some more research on it. But where am I at? I got 24 minutes. I'm at 24 minutes. This one just recently happened. Full House actor Bob Saget dies at 65. Now I'm gonna say it right now. I didn't really watch Full House growing up for real. Like I really didn't. I didn't. I don't know. It was one of those, like it was those shows that came on after like 9 o'clock when I was young, and I was like, "Ah, this must be like an adult show, like kind of like the George Lopez show." I thought it was like a real adult show. You know, you a kid, you don't really know. So I didn't was like, "Oh, this ain't really for me to watch." So I didn't never watch them. I did watch some of the George Lopez show when I was older. I was like, "Oh, this is actually really funny. Why didn't I watch this growing up?" It's kind of like Full House. I probably go watch Full House or start to binge it a little bit as the week goes on. Kind of like the Golden Girls. I didn't really watch them either. Like rest in peace to Betty White, but I never really knew what Betty White was famous for. I just knew she was just in stuff that this is weird. She was just in stuff and she was just famous. I was like, why was she ever famous? Me never looking it up or anything, just kind of just was like, oh, whatever. That's just Betty White or whatever. So it never hit me as hard. Like Bob Saget hitting people hard. I'm like, I didn't have a connection with you. I mean, I feel bad, of course, rest in peace, but I didn't have a connection with you, you know? Like Betty White, I'm like, I didn't have that connection with you, but sad to see you go, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. Um, I mean, Betty White got out of here before she turned 100. I think she was like 3 weeks out. And people trying to say, because like she lived through a certain amount of leap years that it added up that she was like over 100. But that doesn't really count because do we really count leap years? Like, I never understood leap years or the concept of it. Or like if you're born in a leap year, you're like younger or supposedly younger than what you were or what you to the rest of everybody else, but you still age the same. I never understood that. I feel like some stuff we just kind of make up. You know, like what are leap years? And like why do some cultures go on different calendars? Like we're on the Gregorian calendar. I think that's what ours is called. But then the Chinese people they go off something different because they got their own Chinese New Year, and then we're not like on the same time as like the Bible years. So why do we do that? Why do we change that up so much? I don't understand that. I don't know. Just like I said, thinking out loud. I'm gonna write this stuff down. I'm gonna put some research into it. We're gonna talk about it in this next episode, episode 29. We're gonna talk about it. Let me see. Get that out. Where am I at? We'll be right back after these short messages. After this intermission. Hold on. And we are back after the intermission. I forgot like I don't have to like I gotta find a new system now because it's not on the computer. I'm used to how the computer you can just like pause it real quick and then go. You probably can in here too. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But we are back with part two. So this one just happened. I just read this one like not even an hour ago. So Drake and his hot sauce thing. So let me read the article because I got the article. Now I don't know if this is true, by the way. Like I don't know if this is 100% true. And I know here at the Big Al Podcast, we want to give you the most true news as possible, the most correct news as possible. So if these allegations are wrong, I will come on and do a full apology for them because I do not want to be giving out false news. I hate doing that. That's lying to people. We don't want to do that. Let me see here. Drake has a bizarre way of preventing women from stealing his sperm after sex, and this Instagram model seems to know how the rapper does it after sleeping with IG models. See, this is why I say I don't know how credible this source is or the news is, you know? According to the Instagram model, Drake put hot sauce in his condom to prevent her from stealing his sperm, probably to impregnate herself to claim child support. Now, the fact you have to think to do this, or someone who's probably been in the game longer than Drake has probably told him to do something similar to this, just because people are crazy enough to think like that to do that, it's just insane. That's criminal. Like literally, that's criminal. And I feel like can he? Well, as the story goes on, I guess she didn't. I don't know how you don't see it. She didn't see the hot sauce in the condoms, and she tried to impregnate herself, and she got burned. So she can't sue him because then that's like you just telling on yourself. But he probably could sue her, which is crazy. Let me see what happened. Drake and the IG model allegedly met up on Instagram, and the two decided to link up a few weeks ago. The model and Drake had a romantic encounter, and what happens next? Well, crazy. After the party, at this hotel, they smoked weed for a bit. He asked if she wanted to have sex. She said she is very intent on ensuring things were consensual. Just a bit of like, how do you know? Well, I guess they taught, Instagram models, they know one another. They taught. It's some kind of explicit details. He went to dispose. When he went into the bathroom to dispose of the condom, they quote thought he tried to scam Drake out of his seed. She immediately went to the bathroom to retrieve the used condom and try to get a hold of Drake's sperm, possibly to impregnate herself. But Drake allegedly booby trapped the condom. She fished the condom out the trash, emptied it, and was hoping them. Yeah, she's trying to impregnate herself, and it felt like pouring hot lava into her genital. She screamed. Drake ran to the bathroom. He admitted that he poured hot sauce in the back and did kill the sperm. That is still criminal, though. Like that, the fact that you could think, I don't get. People are just sick out here. People, first off, my man's was like thinking 10 years ahead, probably because he was like, this ain't gonna happen again. I'm not having no accidental kids no more. Like he said, I messed up one time. This ain't gonna happen no more. My knee popped, excuse me. Like he said, this ain't gonna happen no more. So the credit to that man thinking like 10 steps ahead. If this is true, this is all basing on these allegations, if they're true or not. But I'm still stuck on like, how do you think of that? What you have to be outside the box to think of that. But I mean, people want to scam you out your money. He's the biggest rap star in the world. That child support looking like mighty nice. Probably like what, 500 grand a month. They was trying to get Dr. Dre out of like a couple $100,000. That's crazy. That's just criminal, man. That's criminal. All right, moving on. So they got the it's crazy how stuff trends, right? Like they got the 10-year glow up challenge again. Like we did this 2 years ago. We doing this again. And it's weird to see like people my age try to do it, but it's like 10 years ago you were 11, dude. Like I don't think that really counts. I don't think that counts for people in my generation. You were a kid. Of course you're gonna look better. You're an adult now. It only works, I think only works for people who they were 30 plus. It only works for it. Anybody in their 20s, it don't really work for it. Because you were a kid. I don't think that counts. But it's weird how stuff just trends up again. Like I remember we did this in 2020. Because we were all bored in the house. We were like, oh, what can we do? Like, remember them push-up challenges? Like, people trying to, like on Instagram trying to, hey, I challenge these people to do 20 push-ups or something like that. Remember those? That was, people, we were bored. We were bored in the house, in the house bored. Man, we were bored. Okay, what's next? So, let me see. Euphoria Season 2. I talked about Euphoria before. I really don't like the show, but I keep watching it, man. Because I'm just hoping, like, it gets better. Not even just it gets better. Like, I'm just trying to root for my old girl, Zendaya. Like, I've been rocking with Zendaya since her Shake It Up days on Disney Channel. I've been rocking with a lot of, like, them people from, like, back in the day. Like, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, what's my man's name? He was on Zac Efron and Zendaya. I've been rocking with them since their days back on like Disney Channel and stuff. It's crazy to see him now, and I'm trying to really root for. I'm like, yeah, in this show, but this show is just grimy, man. It's grimy. I'm like, why do I keep watching this? Like, I feel like what is the? I said it before. I couldn't tell you what episode it was. It probably was like 7 or something. Episode 7, something like that. Go back through and watch them all. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell, like button. All that. Um, but like, I don't know. Like, the whole premise of the show is like these kids in high school, but most of them are just junkies, uh, sex addicts, and just awful. I'm like, so is this supposed to like represent like kids today? Because I just got out of high school like this year be like 4 years. So my thing is, I mean, I wasn't like that, so maybe I can't relate. Like, what is the whole premise of the show? I don't really understand. I still don't understand. They had a whole season. I watched the whole season. I'm like, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And I'm trying to root for it. And people like love this show. I see it on the internet. People like, oh man, I love this. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I just don't get it, man. Maybe it really just isn't for me. Like, I don't get how the show You is for me. It's just cool. Like, my man's Joe. He just trying to make his way. He trying to find his love. But he take it too far. He just be killing folks. Something about You, I was thinking about. I'm like, her name was Love Quinn, like Harley Quinn. That's how you already knew she was crazy. They told you right away. They told you right away in season 2. Before that twist when she kills old girl Delilah, they told you right away. Her name is Love Quinn. And I was like, oh nah, she too nice. Like, she too nice. And to be with this dude like that, like, you making it seem like it's gonna set up like season 1 again. Like, oh, she don't know how he acts. Is like, no, she the same way. She built the same way. But then he saw, like, I guess maybe he saw his insecurities in her, because literally they're like the same person. And he's like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that same energy. No, sir, you can't be like me. And that's why he tried to get out. Just an observation. It's kind of like I don't even know what I was gonna say right there. Just like observations of things in shows, like little things like that. Maybe I'm just thinking it too far. Maybe that could be like a little theory. I don't know. They're like all quiet on, like, or they really don't have social media accounts or anything, so you can really like see what they said about that or anything. You can only see other people's theories on like Reddit or something. I like to read stuff like that. Kind of like how I like to with songs, I like to see other people's comments of what they think of the song or what they interpret something as. That's why I love the Weeknd's music, because you could just interpret it any type of way. And especially like the music videos, like with the after hours thing. Because it's weird. Most artists turn their comments off, like on YouTube. They turn their stuff off. But the Weeknd keeps his on. So you could read what other people's thinking about the music and everything, theories about music videos and different things, because he likes to do these characters and everything. And he's got the new album out, Dawn FM, and it's pretty cool. I really mess with it. I like the whole 80s theme he's going with. Some people are mad at it. People want him to go back to his trilogy days, but I feel like um you know you can't keep doing the same thing. That's kind of boring. And then you grow as a person. Even artists, you grow as a person. You're not going to keep getting the same thing over and over out of somebody. They want to do new things, advance to new levels in music. So I kind of like the 80s thing, even though he was doing that in After Hours, but he's really really into it now. I think it's cool. Um and apparently this is like another trilogy of itself. This whole After Hours and Dawn, and then whatever's next. That's what he says. But I think it's really cool. The album's cool. 10 out of 10. He had who were his features? He has Jim Carrey as the narrator throughout the whole thing, which is pretty cool. He had what's my man's name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Let me go see real quick. Um oh yeah, Quincy. He had Quincy what's his last name? I can't think of his last name. He had Quincy on there. The Jim Carrey's like the narrator, like on the radio dude, like the radio dude, Lil Wayne, and Tyler the Creator, which that's pretty cool because he really don't do features no more for real. So it's cool we get some people for that. I think that's cool. I give it a 10. No, I don't. I give it a 9. I don't give anything a 10. I couldn't be like a music like I couldn't be a music, you know, those people who rate music or rate albums and stuff. I can't do that because it's all subjective. I don't think people should do that or have uh channels like that. It's all subjective. So of course, what you think is like a 9 or a 10, I might think it's like a 3 or 4. So I don't get the point of that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really rock with the person who has the channel, like you have the same taste in music. Of course, you're gonna agree with that. Just thinking out loud, but like the Weeknd album was pretty cool. I really like it. He didn't you know, it's not really explicit at all. Like the only times it's explicit when it's Tyler the Creator or a Lil Wayne song. It's those are the only times it was like really explicit, but like it's pretty clean throughout the most part, which was cool. It's like a different change. I think so. I think it's a different change. I like the music because I do genuinely like 80s music because I grew up in a household where 80s music was played. So, of course, that's going to work out like that. And speaking of Jim Carrey, uh, they dropped the ball. I think DC dropped the ball with Jim Carrey. That instead the Riddler, he should have been the Joker, man. But not for that Batman, right? Not for the not Michael Keaton, but Val Kilmer or whatever, whichever movie he played the Riddler in. Not that series, he could have been the Joker, but like later on, like Ben Affleck, that's not Jared Leto. It should have been Jim Carrey. This man's facial structure, the way his facial muscles, how he can control them, like when he did for the Grinch, he would have been cold as the Joker. That's just a missed opportunity. Him or Willem Dafoe, those were two missed opportunities right there. William Dafoe, like they just missed the mark. DC just misses the mark, man. Like Marvel is like the Apple of superhero cinematic universes at this point. Marvel is like Apple, and DC. What's a bad phone? What's a bad phone? I don't even know. They're like a just bad Android phone. Not even like Samsung or like I don't even know, but like they're just like a worse version of that. And I don't think they're ever gonna get it together. The only thing DC really has going for them is their TV shows. That's it. And they're not even really like in the spotlight for real. Like Titans is good. Um what's Doom Patrol is good. I didn't watch Swamp Thing yet. But like they got good shows, but they're just not hot. They're just not marketed right. With those shows on HBO, the shows on the CW, we can't talk about those. Those shows are not. They just not. They're not good. And now they're selling them. Apparently, CW is selling them, which they should, because they're not really a good TV network. I don't think so, because they make them just look bad, just horrible. Like the CG and stuff, it just doesn't look good, man. And they just need better writers. They just need a new crew. They just need to start all over. And speaking of that, so apparently they're doing the what you saw in the what's it, the Spider-Man movie. They got my man's Daredevil back. Marvel got him back from Netflix. Now I'm kind of scared of this, right? Because Netflix had their stuff rated R. Because my man's in the comics would be getting beat up all the time. He be getting beat down. So you can see all that blood and gore and stuff, and people really like getting beat up. Blood and everything. They got my man's the Kingpin back. But I don't think it's gonna be the same. And I'm kinda scared of that because that Daredevil series on Netflix, that is a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. But I don't think they're gonna do it right. I just feel like it's gonna be not as not as gory, not as good. I feel like, because you got to cater to kids when it's Disney, because Disney got Marvel, so I feel like it's not gonna be as good. So that's kind of the pluses and downsides of, I guess, being owned by Disney. Like, a lot of your stuff is kind of gonna be just like PG-13, nothing really R-rated, and that's kind of people's reason why, like, maybe that's why the Star Wars movies aren't as good. But I mean, they got a bigger budget behind them. Yes, you're gonna have a bigger budget because you're Disney. Disney pretty much is a monopoly in the entertainment world. But you gotta cater to kids, so you can't go too far. Well, on that note, that's everything I gotta say. Everything on my good old list of stuff. So if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when a new video pops up. Um, Hit the like button. They don't have a dislike button. What they do, they just don't show it anymore. Just YouTube. They don't show the dislike button no more. But hit the like button, comment whatever you want. Favorite part, what you agree, disagree, what you want to see next. Yeah, with that being said, I'll see you next episode, episode 29.